Welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk about the Walking Dead TV show Q&A number 110. Now I got a couple questions here, and I think this is going to be a quicker video. And if you're new here and you want to participate in the Q&As, they're usually longer and we answer a lot more questions, but you can find the rules to participate down in that video description. Let's kick this off with Dave Howard. Jesus was the one who gave Daryl the key and the note. This they're going to have to prove, and they're going to have to show me really well. They're going to have to explain the hell out of this because there's a number of reasons. Jesus didn't know where Daryl was. Jesus was on top of the van thing. There was no hatch. I double-checked everything, and it looked like he was on the outskirts where the fence is separating the outside of the sanctuary from the inside from that one way. So I'm still wondering where the hell he went. And I hate when they do that shit in TV and in movies where someone's standing here, a bus goes by, and they're fucking gone. When I first seen it, I was like, oh shit, alright, Jesus is, fucking stealthy. But now rewatching it, and I'm looking around like, where the hell did he go? I hate that shit. It's unrealistic. It's stupid. Somebody would have saw him. I just fucking hate it. It's lame. And to have Jesus give him the note and the key, Jesus is going to find him how? He's going to go in these narrow hallways. He's going to find tape. He's going to find paper. Wait a minute. Why does he even need to do that? Why does he even need to keep this a secret? And did you hear how heavy the footsteps were? I went back and rewatched it with the sound up. Somebody who was clearly a guy, clearly walking a perimeter, somebody who was casually walking the hallways, somebody who is supposed to be there. That doesn't sound like Jesus, who isn't supposed to get caught inside the walls of the sanctuary. At this point in time, if it's Jesus, I will punch myself in the face and eat grass, and then I will go force one of the writers to eat grass, because that is fucking dumb. If you look at all the possibilities, it doesn't make sense no matter how you cut it. Look at the fact that if it's Dwight, it makes perfect sense because he gives Daryl a note, and this way Dwight has deniable plausibility. Is that what Gregory says? If Daryl gets caught, Dwight isn't caught with him, you know what I mean? If it was Jesus who's breaking him out, he doesn't even have to slide him a note. He could just open the damn door and be like, come on, Daryl, let's roll. Here's a key, yada, yada, yada. Why does Jesus need to keep that a secret? You see what I'm saying? So, no, I don't believe it's Jesus. Let's move on to Barack Gage. Why do you think Negan keeps re-salting Dwight's wounds? I feel so bad when he was making out with Dwight's old wife in front of him. I mean, Dwight listens. Don't you think that will push him over the edge? Here's the thing with Negan. I'm going to put a warning here. I'm talking about something that unraveled and revealed itself in the comic book. It's not a spoiler, but just saying, they seem to be making Sherry a little bit different than the comic book counterpart. But in the comic book, I wondered the same thing. I was like, man, did something happen besides the whole cheating shit where Dwight pissed Negan off and Negan just does not like Dwight? Because it makes it seem like Negan hates Dwight in the comic. And later on, Negan admits to Dwight, he's like, bro, that bitch isn't shit. Like, why are you stressing over her all the time? You're always yap, 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 yap about your fucking girl. This bitch is nothing. Look it, I gave her a place to stay and told her she didn't have to fight and work for her food. She's on my dick like that. She bounced and left you. And then once, I went away and you got her back and all that shit, she left you again for some other scrub. Like, the fucking wake up. You know what I'm saying? That's how Negan's coming at it. Negan's coming at it like, why are you getting so attached to this bitch? Share some fucking fluids and you keep it moving. She is a pleasure portal and that's it. That's the end of that. So in Negan's mind and Negan's perspective, he's not viewing Sherry as anything more than just that bitch you hook up with. You know what I'm saying? And for Dwight, in a way, it's really true. As far as what we've seen in the comic book, it is true. Like, this chick does not love Dwight as much as he thinks he loves her. And that's why I love that part of the story a little bit more, because it's not the old cliche, this is a couple that loves each other. No, this is a fucking guy who ended up loving this girl who never really loved him, although he never was able to see it because there was so much shit going on. I don't know, I love this shit. Spin 2020. Ronnie, I believe you have said that you think Tara will get Holly's death. How do you feel about that now? They sure seem to be setting up something for other females like Rosita, Sasha, Michonne. I know Michonne will not get the death, but she seems headed to the sanctuary. So here's the thing with Michonne. I think they're doing something different with her. I've started talking about it in a different video, but we will revisit this. I do believe they're connecting Michonne's story with Jesus, and they're going to bring... Michonne will find Jesus, end of story, and they're going to bring her back to Alexandria. As far as the other two right now, I am pretty confident it's a toss-up between Rosita, Sasha, Tara. Still, those are my 3 favorite picks for the Holly scene. And at this point in time, I think Tara fell to the bottom of the list because of how she didn't act so vengeful. Like when she heard the news, she didn't act as if, or she didn't seem as if her world came crumbling down. It wasn't that at all. She just seemed like really bummed out. You know what I mean? So that surprised me a lot, and it made me think this isn't somebody who's going to be fired up to, you know, drive a vehicle into the gates at the sanctuary. Maybe she'll get fired up over time. Maybe we need to see her meet Maggie again, and then maybe that emotional experience could break down a wall and send Tara over the edge to say, you know what, no, this is a battle I'm going to fight. I didn't break down the walls in the prison, but I'm going to break down the walls in the sanctuary, some shit like that. With that being said, if I only had to pick between Rosita or Sasha at this point in time, Rosita is most likely going to get the Holly death. Based off of what we see, that could definitely change. Absolutely. Ivo Kolev. Did I say that right? The actual ironing looked so weak to me, not even remotely resembling the comic panel with Negan's menacing look and the grip of Mark's face. Instead, he was just barely holding the iron, as lazy as possible. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Anyone who's not a fan of the iron scene, that definitely did not live up to the expectations. The expectations was like, holy shit, the iron moment, and he just rather lazily just... yeah, you know, they did do the skin coming off the iron, and I think that was my favorite part. In the comic, it looks so gruesome and gory, and on the show, they did a fabulous job making that look real. I was working as a spot welder for a factory, and I had this one big spot welder machine look like a Terminator gun, and it was hanging from the ceiling with a huge chain and had a pointy tip, so you'd go and then I would let go of the spot welder to get apart. It hit this arm somewhere where I covered it up with the tattoo, and as soon as it hit, I remember it wasn't even instant that I felt pain. And I'm not saying this should be like my experience, but I looked down immediately and saw the hair in a circle just disappear as if it was nuked, and my skin turned white. Like the whole thing went solid white, like white. Like I'm not talking like a pale white dude. I'm talking like a white crayon. Like that shit was just, you know, and it looked like a nuke, and it spread out. It looked like, and it happened in a split second. Like it stopped, but it looked like maybe you got a virus on you, and it was starting to spread over your whole body. It did that in that one area that I just touched that spot welder, and it was hot as shit. And I remember that stayed messed up on my arm for a while. It's scarred and all that shit. I mean, it's scarred good, and it's scarred in weird patches. It was messed up. But anyway, I'm not saying that is what it should have looked like. I'm just simply saying that that looked gory as hell on the screen, and I did fit the comic. But yeah, the scene around it, yeah, it didn't have that. I don't know. And I think it has a lot to do with the Negan in the comic hunched over. It was like an iconic panel, and the actor on the show, I don't know. He didn't do it for me. He did not do it for me at all. That's what I was talking about with those. You know what? I'm not going to shit talk it, because maybe I'll go back and rewatch it and say, you know what? No, he did a good job. But I remember the first time being so distracted with the CGI, and I don't understand this. Did they use CGI for that scene? I can't imagine at all why you would need CGI for that scene. That stuff seems like it's all practical stuff. I can imagine somewhere in Hollywood, like some effects studio, has this shit on standby. Isn't this like practical effects 101? There's got to be some type of machine where you could just puff smoke in. I mean, fuck, you can have somebody with a vape pen, you know, invent something real quick with some holes and a hose. I mean, anything to get it to smoke. But the CGI looked bad in that scene. If they didn't use any CGI for that scene, I'll be shocked stupid, because it took me out of the moment. Anyway, Oslot, that's it, just Oslot. What kind of name is that? Carl is fucking retarded. He could have just shot Negan in the face. Seriously, that is awful writing. I will agree with you, in this moment in time, Carl is fucking retarded. Now, it wasn't as bad in the comic because he was a little kid. He's an idiot, you know? in the show, it does seem worse because he should be smart enough to know better. Here's the thing, though. I wouldn't blame that on awful writing, though. You want characters that are fleshed out, right? I did some stupid shit when I was younger. I mean, some really dumb shit. I feel like I was, as far as when it came to common sense and street smart, I feel like I was ahead of the curve. I did some dumb shit, you know? With Carl here, with the bad writing, we're gonna have characters who do things where it's a dumb plan at the end of the day, or maybe they think it's a good idea. Maybe I can sneak in this truck. I see that there's weapons here. I might be able to, in his head, I might be able to scare this group of guys. I've ran into some people who seemed menacing, and in reality, they weren't. Once you make them bleed, they start, crying on their knees. Oh, Rick, just let me go. Da 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 da. So Carl might have this vision in his head of how it will go. And then he shoots the guy, comes out, and he's pretty confident and cocky. He's like, just give me Negan. That's all I want. And then here's Negan comes strutting. Negan should be hiding somewhere. Should tell some of his guys to, get him. I mean, that could take him off guard. He could picture Negan doing some shit like that. And here Negan comes whistling, talking to him. And then Carl has to reevaluate the situation instantly. All his ideas, all his preconceived thoughts of how this would play out, that's done. That's dead. That died with the guy that he just shot. Because now this shit just got real and he needs to rethink his strategy. Wait a minute, if I kill Negan, these guys might just fucking kill me. They look a little nervous, but they also look like they're gonna fucking kill me no matter what. You know what I mean? So then he doesn't take the shot. And then he decides, okay, let's see how this will play out. And that's when the one guy goes to get him. He shoots the guy and gets tackled. So we have to understand that even if that is a really dumb decision, like I'll tell you right now, yeah, that was dumb of Carl to do. That was stupid of Carl to do. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. But I don't want the writers to write all the characters smart. You know what I mean? That I don't want. That I hate. I can't stand that on TV shows where and you always get, those shows. Those shows. I just put a show on Netflix that had to do with like post-apocalyptic shit, and I think I died temporarily. I was cleaning the fucking office, and I died momentarily. How bad the script was. It was the visual and the audio all at the same time. It was like I was hearing the show and I was like, whoa, this is fucking terrible. And then as soon as I looked up and I made that visual connection with the audio, everything synced. It was game over, man. I fucking fell to the ground. My daughter came in, found my lifeless body, all from a terrible TV show because they have characters who are all smart, all perfect, all badass. That's not what I want. You know what I mean? I'll take The Walking Dead over that any day of the week. Is this a sweater? What is this? Sweaters fascinate me as far as clothing is concerned. I just bought this, so it looks nice. I could get away with this shit out in public. Like, I'm going to go pick up my daughter from school, and we're going to stop at the store. I can wear this. I can wear a sweatshirt, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's like the sweatsuit, like the shit joggers wear. I can wear this and not look like white trash because it looks clean and neat and fresh. It's not washed and faded. But that's the funny thing with sweatsuits. If I wash this 2 or 3 times and it starts to fade, now I start looking like a crackhead. I start looking like white trash. So it's so funny how just these cheap sweatsuits do that, right? Man. So give me your thoughts and opinions on sweatsuits. What do you think? Are you a crackhead if you wear them after they have faded a little bit? Or do you have some sweatsuits that you absolutely love and you are not willing to get rid of? And what were we talking about? Oh yeah, The Last of Us. Thoughts and opinions on that? The Walking Dead, Season 7. Thoughts and opinions in the comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Did I step on you? Oh, buddy. Oh, did I step on you? Oh, what? You want to go get Juliet? My little Ewok. Yeah. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Fuck you! Just kidding. Subscribe now.